Hello, and welcome to Abby Tyler's Healthy Living. My name is Abby Tyler. I'm your host, a family nurse practitioner, a health and wellness blogger, and a community volunteer. And here we discuss evidence based health information regarding mind, body, and soul with a holistic emphasis. Thanks for joining me on this journey of health and wellness. Please enjoy the show. Hello, ATHLers. Welcome to our weekly show or Tuesday show. Welcome. My name is Abby. I'm your Healthy Living NP. Hi, how you guys doing? Weather's nice out there. We're still enjoying this nice change in the weather, break from the humidity. Okay, so today's topic is tips for coping with the summer blues. Alrighty. So please invite others. Please share the show. Please invite others. Please share the show. And let me just go up in here for a second. Okay, and welcome to all my new followers since the last time we were on. Thanks for joining all of us on this journey of health and wellness. Happy August to all of you. Happy birthday to everybody celebrating their birthday in the month of August. Okay, I'm gonna make a special post about you guys, but happy birthday, happy August. Enjoying the summer. If you're somewhere else where the summer's not, I know you'll be celebrating your summer later on, but happy summer. We're still in the middle of summer. So summer doesn't end till at least mid-September. So by the way, so we're going to start the show. Make sure your bell notifications are on. If you're on YouTube also, happy welcome to those who are watching from Focus on Liberia and also from YouTube. Okay. My disclaimer as always, I'm a provider, but I'm not your provider. So please do not make any changes to your regimen without checking with your own provider. So just give me a few seconds here. I'm going to put my glasses on and we'll get started. Okay, so let's go in here. Alrighty, and I'll get to my notes. Alrighty. Okay, so as you can see, tips for coping with the summer blues. Now, people might say, well, summer's almost over. Why didn't you bring this up long before? But this is not just for now. I make videos to last for posterity, so people can watch that years and years and years from now. Okay, so we always hear I did on my page the other day. I said the change in the weather, I didn't mean summer's coming to an end. So usually when the change in the weather, like fall goes into winter and all that too, I'm like a tropical girl. So I like the weather being warm. I don't care what it's humid. I don't mind the humidity as long as I'm inside though. But as long as it's like nice and breezy and summery and everybody's outside playing, having a good time and all the different activity going, I feed off from that. My brain feeds off from that. As soon as it starts getting cold and dreary and there's no flowers and there's pretty things and people are staying inside more, it's like, oh, then I start doing things that make me feel upbeat. There are many other ways to make yourself feel upbeat too. Okay. And not just for people who just like feel a little down. Of course, if you have any issues with depression and all that, you want to talk to your doctor. Okay. So but then I was doing my research and all, and I said, oh, then I saw summer depression too. And I said, oh, okay, so there's, because it said winter is like season effect disorder. That's like from you feeling down with just feeling the blues or go into depression, and also go into depression that also comes with the weather changes. And also summer sad is summer season effect disorder, and apparently it affects more people than winter depression. For those of you who live in places where the weather never changes and all, lucky you. Okay, some days I keep thinking I'm going to move to somewhere where it's just nice and tropical all year round. Alrighty. So some of the tips for coping with summer depression. So before we do that, or dealing with the summer blues, before we do that, we want to ask the reason why and some of the symptoms for that too. Okay, again, please invite others. Please invite us. Please give me a thumbs up. Please give me a thumbs up. Okay, share the show. Okay, so you're saying that you're like, it's summertime. Everybody's you're feeling happy. And I see, especially for those of us who are on social media, people are posting the beautiful pictures every weekend where they're going. For some of us who be having like so many cookouts this year, so many graduations and weddings and different things. So people are posting things every year. Some people look like they go to a different occasion like every week or so. So they're posting things. And how come I'm not feeling that way? Even if I am going out to these things, how come I'm not feeling that way? Am I supposed to be feeling this way? I'm not feeling, what is it about me that I don't get too much happiness from the summertime? Okay, so according to this, I'm just going to read something first. Dr. Ian Cook, the director of depression research program at UCLA, also stresses that for some people there's some biological reasons, and others is like scientists haven't really pinpointed exactly what causes like change in the weather and when you get depression during the weather. So, but some of the causes that they come up with. Okay. So let me go. So about 10% of people get season affective disorders, but the onset, what triggers that in the summertime is different. So okay, so let me go in here and so some of the symptoms you'd be saying, all right. Some of the symptoms can be more severe. If they're more severe, again, like I said, if you're feeling this way, you feeling, especially if you're feeling suicidal or homicidal, please make sure you call 911. Okay. So some of the symptoms you'd be feeling irritability. You know how sometimes they'd be like, oh, I don't want to be bothered and just leave me alone. Let me just rest myself. I don't want to go out. And you just don't feel like yourself because you just feel like, tense all the time. Most of the time during the summer months, you're feeling that way. Those are some of the symptoms. Loss of appetite. It may not mean you're not eating at all, but it's just that you don't feel as you're not eating like enough to like sustain you, or just when you're eating just to sustain you. Basically, you're eating, but you don't feel like eating anymore. It's like, yeah, I don't feel like. I know back in the day, they used to say people who are short get angry when the sun is really hot. I don't know where that came from, but usually they like short people get hot easy. Weight loss, because if you're not eating that much, you're feeling jury, you're sitting down, you're not eating full meal, like I'll say full meals, like more like 50% of all three of your meals. You're not eating that. You're having some trouble concentrating. Let's say you had a task to do and you're not completing it. You don't even want to get to it, or when you're doing it, you have so many different things that calling your attention back and forth, back and forth. You feeling worthlessness, like, oh, why do I feel this way? I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like I'm good enough. All of that, all those things to trigger you go into to see your doctor regardless anyway. Okay. Anxiety, you feel like, okay, all the time, like, why am I feeling anxious? Why am I feeling like something's going to happen? Why am I feeling like, okay, I'm going here, but I just feel like I'm supposed to be somewhere else. And it's so much your whole body, your body. Like usually when I'm talking to my patients, like, your body, yourself. So if you're feeling different from there, something's going on different in your body. Okay. Weight loss, again, like, is a trouble sleeping, because if you're irritable and you're not eating much and you're having difficulty sleeping, concentrating, that can also affect your sleep too. Okay, so all of that, those are some of the symptoms of there's not all of it, but those are the major ones of summer blues before it gets a depression. Okay. So some of the causes, again, like they said, are the disrupted sleep. For those of you who are prone to depression or kind of feeling down during this time of the year, when it comes to people who have issues like that, it's rituals and routine. Rituals and routine. I get up in the morning, I fix my coffee, I do this, I go to work. I get the kids ready in the morning, get them to school to go to work. The older kids, so I get the dog outside, or I get the cats don't go outside, right? Yeah, just dogs go outside. My neighbor used to have the cat outside. That was kind of weird. Anyways, but you put the cat outside, you put the dog outside, and everything is like rituals and routine. I do that. That is my routine, and I'm used to that. And I'm used to that. I'm used to that. Okay, when some of that happens, and it just when in the summertime, all of that goes out of there during like, okay, let's say you're school age children, they're not in school anymore, they're spending more time at home. And if you have school age children, like I'm talking about from maybe 4, but they're younger than that too, but all the way to like that, maybe 15, 16 or so. When they're home in the summertime, oh my God, as soon as they wake up in the morning, what are we doing this morning? What do we go after this? Where are we going after that? And then it's like there's so much. And if you have to work to use, depending on your shift you work, that can also be a little overwhelming too, because it's like, oh my God, just sit down and just do this. Remember during the pandemic where the kids were home and all of that changed. I mean, I saw most of the family they were saying all the different posts saying, please, teachers, open up the school. These kids got to go back to school. They've been in the house for too long. Okay. So all of that. So you're used to the routine and all of that just out of the way during the summertime. All right. Even with college children, you have your college students that have come back home and they got their things all over the place. And the way they used to be before when they go into college, it's not that same person that came back from college again. So all of that can be a little bit overwhelming as well. All right. Vacations, you're talking about, okay, yeah, I got to go to vacations and I don't know, we'll go for vacation this year, where we're going, and the sleep habit and this eating habit, because in the summertime, you're not eating like you were eating before. You're busy. Like you might not be eating as healthy, put it that way, or because it's summertime, you're having fun. So some of that, when you're not eating healthy, also that can make you feel a little sluggish as well. So all of that can put you in the summer blues, and you're just not feeling yourself. Okay, and another cause, body image issues too. We all know that it's like in the summertime, in the wintertime, or the warmer months, the cooler months, you got your jacket on, you got a sweater on, you got a bigger dress on, and all. And it's like nobody's worrying about their weight or their body size at that time. But when it comes to summertime, you got to take up all those layers, especially when it's really hot. The last thing you want to do is be wearing anything. But except the teenagers, though, they're still wearing their big hoods and their like hoodies and jackets. Sometimes I saw this little kid walking yesterday. He was running, and I was like, why do you have a jacket on? It's like a thick hoodie, look almost like one of those thick jackets. I'm like, why? Why? It was so hot. I was going to work and nobody like, why? But that's them. Okay. And then in the wintertime, they walk around with the t-shirts you know so then that's when you have to take your clothing off, and most of these things you have to go to these cookouts. And some of these cookouts, some people cook out, they go to it, they got the t-shirt and they got their jeans, or they got a pretty skirt or stuff like that. Then some of the cookouts, you go to it, it would be like you're going on the runway. Okay, some people, like, I'm like, how are you going to walk around the grass with those high heels, and I mean, all done up and fixed up and all. So, and that's how you want to go to your cookout and make you feel good. That's fine. Okay, I'm not picking all those people. But the most important thing is you're going to be taking off most of your clothes. You're going to be wearing thin layers of clothes. That's when your body image, and there'll be so many people around. Sometimes people say, let's go to a pool party, let's go to the shore and go somewhere. And people get a little self-conscious because it's like, okay, people are going to be looking at me. And especially if you're not okay with yourself. If you're okay with yourself, you're comfortable in your body and all, even though you have a little bit of, like what people are going to be saying, but it doesn't bother you that much. All right. Because I've seen some people who, they walk around and say, wow, I wish I had that much courage, but then it's like, you worry about that. So you're thinking about it. And some people again, there always be people out there who would just tell you that about your body size or about this and all. And then some of those people, you have to be ready and willing, or ready to be able to say, block their comments off. Okay. And just say, whatever, feel comfortable with yourself, that if they say something, even though it's well-meaning, quote unquote, and it really isn't, just say, you know what, brush it right off and go ahead and have a good time. But body image can also, be a big major issue why somebody will have the summer blues, because it's like, I don't want to go out there. And you see all the commercials, you see everything that comes along with it too. Alrighty. And financial worries too, because some people, summertime can be really expensive for some families, because the kids go to school, and if they go to public school, they're getting free lunch, or free or reduced lunch. But when they're home, they're eating all three meals at home: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of these kids at a certain age, they eat a whole lot. Some of these kids will eat like a whole box of cereal in one day. Okay. And those things can be expensive. Even if you're getting food stamps, or you're getting a system with meat, it still can be very expensive. And if you're not, regardless of how much money you're making, unless if you're like me, wealthy, that's different. But it can be very expensive when you have your kids home for all three meals every day, and they're asking for different things. So when you go out, can you buy me ice cream? Can you buy me this? Can you buy me that? No, I don't want to eat the food at home. I want to eat at McDonald's. You're talking about attending a summer camp. Summer camp can be very expensive. Also paying for extra babysitting hours, because you have to go to work. Your husband or your partner have to go to work, and also that can be expensive. And thinking about all that can also pull a little, downer on people too. Alrighty. And vacations, sometimes people are like, oh, my friends are going overseas, my friends are going to this place, and somewhere exotic, somewhere distant, meanwhile we're just going to the shore, meanwhile we just go into this other place, and we're just going into the mountains. How come we can go to somewhere really expensive and somewhere where I can show off my pictures? And also you got to show off your pictures on Facebook and TikTok and everywhere else too, because after all, we live in a world now where that's our like album. That's how you tell the world who you are. Some people want to show off. Some people show it just, have fun with other people. I love looking at people's vacation pictures. So, that can be expensive too, especially when you have a lot of kids, because, it's like, okay, maybe one kid. Yes, you can. And if on a certain age, you can do that. But after a while, it does get expensive after you add one more kid. And the younger they are, there's so many things that you have to get for them. So that can be expensive also. I remember my daughter when she was younger, she's like, mommy and daddy, you both are still together, so we only get to take one vacation. My friend, her parents are divorced. She gets to take two vacations. That's not fair. And I said, okay, what do I say to that? I'm sorry. Okay, we'll just try to get in, have a really good vacations. Okay, so kids. So it's it can be really, really expensive. All right, and then also the heat. We talked about that. Some people cannot take the heat, and humidity is like, oh my God. Some people love that nice sun on their skin and all that, but some people can, the heat, especially I think they said July, this July was the most hot July ever, and global warming and everything else. And it's like sometimes it's so humid to where I usually like to sit on my patio, and I used to sit out with my dog, rest his soul. And but now it's like it's so hot when I sit outside there. I'm like, oh, let me see. Oh yeah, I like, but it's like 5 minutes later, get back in the house because you're sweating and it's so oppressive, and it can be downright dangerous too. So that all of that, when you think about, oh my God, do I need to go out? And if you have asthma, you have COPD, and you have other illnesses that make it difficult for you to sit in the heat. And when it gets this time of the year, some people also have like allergies to that can also be exacerbated during the time of the year. So it's really important that so all those things you think about, oh my God, it's just like how I think about winter. Like, oh my God, it's gonna be so cold. That's how some people feel when it gets to this time of the year. So you don't want to go out when you have to go out to go walk. You have to go very early. You have to stay inside all day. And as soon as you turn around, So some people look forward from June to September to just hope for it to just go by real fast so they can get to where it's safer for them. Sometimes it's just to be able to breathe right. Okay. So, so now you're saying, okay, Abigail, I hear that you told me the symptoms and you told me your causes and the symptoms and all that too. So what are some of the ways that I can go ahead and give me some of the tips? All right. So let me see here. If you have any comments, leave it there. I'll get to them. All right. And we can also answer questions after the show's over too. So if you're joining us, this is Abby Tyler's Healthy Living page. I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube. And we're talking about tips for coping with the summer blues. Again, like I said, if you find those symptoms that I discussed earlier a little bit more severe, or you have any suicidal or homicidal ideations, you want to make sure suicidal homicidal ideations, call 911 right away. But you also want to talk to your doctor, especially if you have no symptoms, so you can talk to them and tell them that, yes, these are the things I'm feeling. I'm not eating that, I'm not sleeping that, and also talk to them about it. Okay. So what are some of the tips? Alrighty. So we'll get to the tips here. Plan ahead, plan ahead, plan ahead. So let me just go in here. So that you're going to be this time of the year will make you really miserable and all that too. So plan ahead for vacation in the springtime. Stop thinking about it in the springtime. Some people I know stop spending their vacation because remember we have to have our vacation on the calendar at work, by February. So some people stop planning the vacation during that time. Start doing a lot of things ahead of time, seeing what the kids are going to be going for summer camps, or who's going to be babysitting them. You can get those plans. It doesn't have to be like, solid until it's, and don't make it so rigid, but you can put it there, at least have it down. And also when you start getting closer to summertime in May and June, this is also for next year too, by the way, you can have things ready so you don't feel so overwhelmed. Okay. So plan ahead. Alrighty. And if you want to be, again, if you already have prone to this depression or have history of depression and all, start talking to your doctor about it and seeing how you guys can go ahead and work around it. Right. Sleep, because of vacations, barbecues, and the shorter nights and the longer days. Again, maybe like 5 o'clock in the morning. That's when summertime around June. That's when it's like daylight. So because of that, people can lose sleep and all. So make sure you try to keep your sleeping time the same time. I know it's kind of difficult because summertime you want to have fun and all, but try to keep your sleep time around the same time every night and about the same time you wake up every morning too. Okay. Not getting enough sleep can also trigger symptoms of depression too, because your body's like down, you're feeling down and all that. You're not going to be able to like concentrate during the day. That can also bring us feelings of depression and like blues and all. Alrighty. The other one, keep up with your exercise. All right. Sometimes the more you exercise, I told you when you're feeling better, you're moving around, you're going to feel better because exercise releases your happy hormones and all that. So you feel good. Okay. So keep up with the exercise. Sometimes you may have to exercise very early in the morning, or you may have to exercise later on in the evening because it's too hot. So you don't want to be out there in the, humidity and heat and humidity and exercise. And some people say, oh yeah, when I go in there that way, I feel better. I can burn. No, that's not safe. It's not always safe. So don't do that. Exercise very early in the morning. And sometimes you may have to skip days, as long as it's 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week and all, you can move it around. It doesn't necessarily have to be strict and all. Okay. So let me just see here. Let me just see. There's a comment here. Yes, the heat is a monster. Mike Hines said, yes, this heat is a monster, but keeping myself hydrated and wearing something light and thin, Ms. Abby, as always, I appreciate the advice. Thank you very much, Mike. You're doing what to do. That's good. That's good. Because I'm telling you, you could like pretty much die from a heat stroke. Okay. So it's very important that you do that. And don't overdo your dieting and fitness. I know it's important when you get to a point coming into summertime and even during the summertime because, oh my God, I have to be in this wedding. I have to be this cookout. I have to go to this graduation party. I have to do this. And you want to exercise and you overdoing it and you eat, not eating that much and all of that. And before, by the time the summer comes and you're not this 110-pound thin person that you thought you were going to be, and you start feeling depressed, going back into the body image stuff, and you start feeling depressed that, oh yes, my clothes that was supposed to fit me here and this and that, it doesn't fit me. As for me now, I exercise. That again, you don't necessarily have to go to the gym. You can still go for walks and do different things, and a lot of things at home too. I exercise and all. I'm not stressing myself over, oh my goodness, I'm not losing this much weight. I'm not losing that much weight. You also, most important thing, you exercise to stay healthy in the summertime and in the wintertime and all that. So again, it's not just for the summer. Yes, it will look nice if you look, good in the summertime for you or you fit your body size, but don't overdo it because then you can just go the opposite way. Next thing you know, you start going into unhealthy, unsafe eating and also eating disorders and all. Okay, so don't overdo it. Take your time. If you can't fit in that bathing suit that you wanted to fit in by summertime, get another bathing suit. Period. End of story. Especially if you're grown up and all, don't sweat the small stuff. Okay. Tomorrow is not promised. Your health is not promised. If you can't fit in that dress, you're gonna go let it don't sew it to where you thinking you're gonna be really skinny by the time that month come around. If somebody doesn't feel happy that you're not as skinny as you're supposed to be, and you're supposed to be in their wedding or you're supposed to be in this and all, then that person is not your true friend because they will know that everybody has a different body chemistry and some people lose weight differently. And sometimes the stress alone trying to get to that point can also put the weight on because before you start getting depressed and start down on yourself. So don't do it. Get another bathing suit. I'll get a bathing suit that covers a lot of things, can still be sexy. I buy a lot of stuff from Shein. Okay, I'm a Shein girl. When I started wearing regular clothes to work, I was like, go in there, buy some nice stuff. I go on, I think it's the new ones like Timu or Timu. I don't know how it's pronounced. And even Amazon has a lot of stuff. And Ross. Okay, so I'm one of those people. If I'll be a billionaire tomorrow, I'm still be shopping at the same places I shop at. Okay, as long as it look good, I don't care. You go ahead and spend a lot of money. If you have it, you spend it. That's your money. That's how I choose to spend my money. Okay, so don't overdo it. All right. And also protect yourself. Don't let the obligations drag you down because sometimes it'd be like, oh, I need to do this big picnic and my daughter's graduating or my son's graduating. My friends are having a big and cook out a picnic for their kids. And I have to do the same thing. Then I have to do Memorial Day and I have to do Labor Day and this. And sometimes he's like, you know what? No, I'm going to scale back a little bit. If you don't like it when you come, too bad. Or maybe I'll just skip it. Of course, from children stuff, you want to do their thing. But I'm just let somebody else, like what that's saying, get somebody else to do it. All right. It's like get somebody else to do it or join somebody else and say we can join it, we can do it together. And then you can, then next year I can do mine. All right. But I can't, no, not this year. Don't protect your energy. Okay. Don't sit there and go do stuff and you feeling so miserable, preparing for it. Don't even do that. Alrighty. So just take your time, move it over. All right. Think about the why. Okay. Some people struggle with again, like I said, the summer blues and also for also when it goes into depression. So think about it. What is it about summertime that also you associate feeling depressed with this time of the year? Did somebody get sick this time of the year? Did you lose a family member or a pet, or did you lose your job at the time? Did something traumatic happen into your life around the summer months already? And for those of you who this is not the summer months between June and September, is a different season for you, but during this kind of weather, did something happen that you dread the summertime? Because even on Facebook, when you have the memories that come by, they also give you the option not to have those memories for certain months, because let's say you wrote there that's the time that your relative died, 1 year later Facebook reminds you of that, or every year reminds you of the years prior to the year that you're in, so you can opt out of that so you're not reliving. Even sometimes when I look at pictures and all that, and I'm looking back to see there's pictures of something that happened, traumatic that happened, or really sad that happened, I usually try to skip those pictures, because it's like when my dog died, I was like, I cried for a whole week, and all that, because he was my baby. All right. So, and I know coming up September is when he passed. So that also, when the weather changes the time of the year, I know, that's when I know that he passed like 3 years ago. And then also for people who things happen September 11th and all, I remember all of that. So those things happen. So think about that and talk it over your doctor and see if you need to get any kind of help, because during this time of the year, that's when things happen. All right. And don't beat yourself up. If you're not happy, you're not happy. And it's like, no, I don't have to go anywhere. No, I don't have to be happy. I don't have to post pictures. I don't have to do anything. I don't know. Just because everybody's having a good time, I'm good. I'm good. I want to sleep. I don't want to go anywhere. So again, if everything else is not combined with that, so don't beat yourself up because everybody's having a good time. So don't worry about it. Just it's like, you know what, I'm good. I'm saying my bag, yeah, I'm good. Or I'm going to this cookout this week, and then I'll go to this wedding next week. I'm good. I don't have to be at everything. I don't. Where I'm going to be, I'm going to have a good time there, but I don't have to be at everything. Nobody has to know that, oh yeah, I'm just sitting home and everybody else having a good time. It seems like all of Facebook is going out and I'm the only one home. Oh well, not everybody who posts pictures either having like a really good time. Sometimes you just post your pictures. All right. And don't overthink it. All right. And sometimes also, let me see here. Stop assuming you're supposed to be happy all the time. And no, 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 no. Okay. So again, like I said, talking about summer blues, and look for the symptoms and all, and the causes of that, and the way you can tip it. So final tip on here is, if at all, most important one, if you don't listen to anything I said today, if you start having feelings of depression, like really feeling down, suicidal ideations, and you're not sleeping, and it's been like going on 2 weeks, and your symptoms are getting really, really severe, suicidal ideations, homicidal ideations, you call 911 right away. But if you find out that your symptoms are getting very, very bad every time, and you've done everything so far, I'm listening to music, I'm getting up, I'm doing this, and nothing seems to be helping, please call your doctor. Okay, please, please, please call your doctor, your provider. Please call. If you're already on depression medicine, they may need to kind of work with your dose a little bit long before summer comes, because that's during the time you really go through that. All right. It seems with like if you were having allergies, they may have to tweak your medications around during the seasonal allergy months, because that's when it gets really bad. All right. May have to tweak your medication around. They may have to change some of your medication around. You may need to talk to a social worker, a therapist, a psychiatrist, talk to your own doctor also, because sometimes, again, when we say go to, we refer you to mental health. Most people have to wait like 3-6 months, and especially doing, based on your insurance and all, you may find yourself waiting. I've had some patients that were waiting like 1 to 2 years to see your doctor because of the insurance, or there wasn't available psychiatrist or psychologist, all in that area. Psychologist, the one who don't prescribe meds, psychiatrists do. Your primary care doctor also does that too. Okay, and your NP and your PA. All right. So your symptoms may be permanent. So you want to go get checked, get evaluated, and make sure that they catch up with that. All right. And you might say, oh, okay, well, it's like in 3 months and it's gone. I'm happy again September. But think about it though. Your kids, your husband, your wife, and all, it may be permanent for them. Your behavior may become permanent for them, because then they're going to grow up and always associate that time of the year with mom or dad was always feeling so bad, and we couldn't go anywhere, and she stayed in her room, and most of the time she was sad or he was sad, and then you just kind of work it up for them too, because that's all they remember, that's all they associate summer with, somebody being really depressed and all, and they couldn't go anywhere, even though, and then sometimes even if you went with them somewhere, you were already overwhelmed by all the packing of the stuff and this and that, and not really wanting to go, and feeling snappy around them, feeling really irritable around them. So little kids, after over a period of time, they start understanding that they're like, okay, maybe I need to not ask for anything. Maybe I need to not bother mom today, because, or not bother dad today, because everything they're going through, and I don't want them yelling at me. And I know they're going to say they're sorry later on, but I don't want that. So talk to your doctor. If this is something that goes on, you find yourself going through this every month, every year, okay, when the weather gets like this. And also for those of you who also have winter the blues and all, so talk to your doctor about it. All right. And so you can get help. Sometimes you may not need any medication. Okay, but like I said, if you already have a medication, you may have to adjust it. Sometimes you may need medication, and also seeing that's a therapist and work along them. Remember, we don't just push medications on people, okay? Because most of these medications take at least 6 to 7 weeks to really start working anyways. So start seeing your doctor way before that time, all right? Winter people, start seeing them way before that time, all right? And some of those have some like medication for anxiety that work, that you need to take that right away. You can take that are not narcotics too. all right, and then behavior management and all behavior modification, all of that work. Okay, so I don't see any more comments there. So thank you all for watching. For those of you who are watching now, I say thank you. If you have any questions, we can continue the conversation in the comments, okay? So you can leave your questions there. And some things, if you don't want to leave any questions there, you can always inbox me on the site there and I will answer your questions. Of course, I can only give general questions and you have to take that up with your own doctor, okay? So thank you all for watching me. If you have not, let me see. Oh, somebody put a comment right at the end here. Okay. Oh, Priscilla, thanks. Thank you very much, Miss Priscilla. Okay, so going back here. So alrighty. So again, this was tip for coping with the summer blues. Again, like I said, go back and watch again if you miss it, the symptoms, the causes and all, and know when to talk to your doctor, when to call 911. Okay. So thank you all for watching. For those of you who are watching now, I say thank you. For those of you who will be watching later, I say thank you. If you have not liked and followed Abby Tyler's Healthy Living page, make sure it says page to back on Facebook and on YouTube, and the thing behind me there. It should look like that when you're looking for it on Facebook. Okay. And please make sure share the show, invite other people to join and watch. And again, thank you all for making me one of the leading voices of healthcare in our community, in Liberian community, online community, and also beyond. Okay. And also I'm looking forward to bringing you more evidence-based shows and all. Please contribute if you can't. Most important thing, like I always say, if you can't contribute, please at least just share the show, because it may not be relevant to you, but it may be relevant to somebody else. So I thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your continued support. Happy August. Enjoy the new month, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Stay safe and stay healthy. Bye-bye now.